Hi! Oh my goodness, I see there's a few of you in here already. Oh, I love it when you guys join me. It always makes me so happy. Especially, I don't know about y'all, but yesterday I slept really kind of crazily, so I didn't get enough sleep. So my whole like mood and concentration was a little wonked today, and so I didn't know like if I'd be on my excellent point of this that we do for you, or that we plural that we do together, or if I would be like on the mark and get it done and all that kind of thing. So I love that my first hop in here and I'm already seeing people kind of hanging in there waiting to join in and excited to see. So hello, Miss Angela. I haven't seen you in a little bit, Sweet Pea. I'm glad you're here. Cecilia, mwah, I'm so glad to see your pseudo face, your Facebook face. Hello. Deborah, my dearest. Hello, my dear. Miss Pasha Ross. Ooh, I used to have a friend whose name was Ashley Ross. And she actually told me when we were little that she was like a cousin, sort of, to Diana Ross. I was like, I know somebody famous. It's one of those moments. So, hi, Ms. Michelle. I'm glad you guys are here. So, oh my goodness, I am a couple minutes late joining in. So, my bad completely. You know, I always run over our scheduled time. So, I feel like I'll make it up. I feel like I make it up. But yeah, I'm just going to give it a minute for everyone to kind of come in, pull in a little bit, and then we'll start chatting. We'll start going over some of the highlights. And then we'll hop in. I would love to know how your holiday went. Did it go well? Did you, if you're in the, what is it, the Pacific Northwest, we had a bunch of snow recently. How did you manage? How did you manage? And while you're doing that, I'm going to light some new incense that I've never used before. So we'll see how we react to that. I love trying new things. So part of me enjoys this process. Part of me is always leery. So we just do what we can. We just do what we can. Do let me know that you can see me, that you can hear me just fine, because it seems like you can hear me, but I always like to make sure. Here we go. Got my little flame going. Hey, Rochelle. You went to Maryland. Sweet. Did you do some flying? Oh my goodness. I can't imagine traveling right now. I want to, because I want to go see my family in Arkansas, but I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. It's mostly personal. Like, it's not even really the flying. It's mostly personal. Love them and all. I'm sure y'all can relate. I'm sure y'all can relate. Oh my goodness. Gotta get my little incense burner. So I have the weirdest little contraption. This is a little itty bitty cauldron, and it's filled up with ashes that I scoop out to halfway to leave some of the old ashes in. I don't know, I'm a sentimentalist, I guess. And then I put my incense in it so that it's all insulated and whatnot. Or I can dump it if I need to. So that's my little setup. You'll see how messy it is, but I'm such a sentimental person though, so I keep things sometimes. Sometimes I keep things. Oh my goodness, COVID is crazy. Oh, you drove. Thank you, Angela. You let me know that you could hear. Deborah says that she had a great Christmas and that you got the first snow this morning. Oh my cool. Oh my cool. Miss Deborah, we are doing Patreon 1 hour early just for you. You guys, I normally do a monthly Patreon session where we deep dive into any one of the questions that the people in attendance are bringing to the table. And often Miss Deborah, living on the East Coast, she's always like, it's like 10 o'clock here. It's late by the time you get to me. I'm like, I'm so sorry. So I went ahead and decided that I was going to scoot it 1 hour up. I can accommodate that schedule just so that Miss Deborah can have an easier time about having a question read, and so that she can enjoy it a little bit more. So that's something that I wanted to make sure that I told you about specifically, because it was directly with you in mind, my dear. Angela's just came in from shoveling in Boston. It's about 10 inches. Oh my goodness. I love that you survived it, honey. You survived it. You're very welcome, Miss Deborah. Sandrine, sweetness, Sandrine. I'm so glad that you guys are here. So I am going to top into the other comments here, which is where I'm monitoring everybody, and then we'll start digging into questions. I also have an idea, because you know how sometimes we get spammed, right? Well, one thing, I am totally going to talk about the spammers and kind of give you like, hey, watch out, ban, block, delete. But I thought we'd have like a funsy because I don't want to always be stressed, or I don't want you guys to be stressed every time a spammer shows up. So let's make a game out of it. Actually, like let's do something fun. Every time they show up, we have to do this fun thing so that we can start changing the association and maybe like enjoy the process of them showing up. So my idea was every time we have a spammer show up, we all have to throw in a bomb emoji, like a bomb, a bomb emoji. I guess you could type the word bomb, that'll work too, just in case you can't find it. We have to throw in a bomb emoji, and then I get to read and answer a question that's like one of those truth or dare questions. So I was just looking at a series of them a minute ago, and one of them was like, what was the most recent lie you ever told? And I'm like, ooh, those could be funny questions. Those could be interesting questions. So if you're down for that, let me know, because I think it might be fun to kind of include a game in this as we're all having fun anyway. Because I want to keep it enjoyable and I want to welcome the crazy. I want to welcome it. So let me pull up that sheet that I saw. Truth or dare questions. There we go. And of course, I will only answer the questions so long as they don't violate anybody's ethics, my ethics or otherwise, or expose anybody in any terrible ways. Y'all can expose me. I can expose myself. I'm not going to expose others. But what do you think of that game? What do you think of that game? Cindrine already threw in a bomb. Cecilia says that sounds like fun. Sweet. Hi, Miss Heather. Good evening and happy new year to you too. Oh, yes, it's 2022. So yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. We'll have some funs and do that. Okay, so let's go over the high-level overview as to what you guys can expect in this session. If it's your first time visiting with me, hello! Thanks for coming in. My name is Abby. I'm a full-time professional psychic tarot medium, is how I like to package myself. I use the cards to slightly meditate and connect with spirit, with source, to pull in information from our guides, our guardians, our ancestors, to kind of help deliver wisdom to you sweet souls. That's the whole game plan. I'd love for you to leave today feeling better than when you showed up. I love making people laugh, so don't be surprised if I'm a goofball. That's what will happen. I will try to make you laugh. I'm also kind of a tough love kind of person, so I will tell you mostly what I feel like you need to hear, what our guides are telling us that we need to understand, that we need to hear. I gloss only like that much, so not enough to really give it a, like, to lie to you, but gloss it enough to give it a good shine. If that makes any sense. A couple of you that have had readings from me personally before, you can kind of attest to my reading style and who I am as a person, and I look forward to reading for you all today. So the way that you have a question read is that you go ahead and type your question into the comments. You can go ahead and start on that now. I do suggest that you go ahead and copy that question, because here in a moment when I say, hey, I want to know your questions, you'll go ahead and throw that copy paste. I'll grab the first question that I feel called to. And the reason that I do it that way is so that I'm reading for people who are in the room, because I would hate to like read and you're gone. That would be like, oh, bummer. So I want to read for people who are here. Anything else? So like I usually say, that we are reading today for life questions. So basically almost anything under the sun. There's a few small things that I may not read on, but you know, we'll discuss it when it shows up. We'll discuss it when it shows up. So let's see. Anything else that I need to touch on? No, if you guys are interested in booking with me privately, one-on-one, it's a 30-minute or a 60-minute Zoom session. You can go to my website directly. That link is in this post. And I bet you anything, I can probably send it to you here too. Oops, just so it's easy. .avt, I know how to spell. TAROT. No, avtarot, .com. There we go. Perfect. You can also go to that link, and that will bring you directly to my scheduling platform. And that is the only method in which I schedule appointments. If you see my face trying to book with you through DMs, that is not me dolling faces. The metaphysical world has been inundated with spammers the last couple months. Actually, it's been more like a year. Actually, probably more if you really think about it. But there's been this prolific, almost like an induced pandemic of sorts within our community of scammers, spammers, taking our photos, taking our posts, our content, creating fake profile pages, and then presenting themselves as me on my comments. So if I'm saying I am drawn to you and message me or DM me for a reading, ignore that, block, and send that page to me. because I can report that for impersonation. Now, as of right now, Facebook doesn't do a whole ton about it, but they do something in relation to the spam component. So not so much the impersonation, I guess, but they do in regards to spam. So report it to me, send it to me, block them so they don't bug you, and we'll just move forward from there. We'll march forward from there. Hi, Lori. Lori is our mediator. She is going to be the person that's going to be blocking and deleting messages that come in from our spammers. Lori, I don't know when you showed up, but that's totally okay, because what we're going to be doing this time, and I'll make this different each time because now I'm all excited and having fun. Each time a spammer comes in, the community, all of you guys here are going to drop bombs into the into the comments. It makes me so excited to talk about it. To drop bomb emojis into the comments, and then I get to answer a personal question from the 250 Truth or Dare questions list that I found on Parade.com. So y'all are going to get to know me. Y'all are gonna get to know me. See, there's Sandrine. She's already prepped with the bombs. I love it. Hi, Jessica. Thanks so much for coming in. Oh my gosh, that was fast, wasn't it? So Darnell Smith gets to be bombed. Oh my gosh, this is already fun. I'm excited. Hold on. I gotta get to the comments. Lori's working on it, I'm sure. Actually, I'm gonna let Lori work on it. I'm sure it'll work just fine. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we don't even get started, and I have to read a question. I love it. So I'm gonna pick one. What bridges are you glad that you burned? My favorite bridge that I burned, that I lit on freaking fire, okay? I am so glad that I burned any bridge of people who are unavailable. And that includes an ex. That includes an old boss. That includes a few friends, actually more than a few friends, because I had this tendency for a long time to invest a lot in people who are emotionally unavailable for me. And it's more of like the internal work that you have to do to find your own self-worth and stuff, So I'm so glad and so proud that I was able to light that bridge on fire and then see how that same behavior worked itself out systemically over my life. So yeah, that's one of those bridges that I'm so grateful that I learned how to light on fire and burn. So I think Lori got them. Thank you guys for the bombs. This is going to be so much fun. It's going to be so much fun. Oh my goodness. I think you did. I don't see it coming in through. And if they're not, totally let me know. Also, just to kind of forewarn you, every now and then we accidentally block somebody that's not supposed to be blocked. What I've learned is that it's only for this session. You'll be able to come to the next one, so no worries. Because I saw Lori was like, I hope you're still here. Sandrine is, so that's perfect. That's perfect. All right, you guys, so you have your questions, right? You got them copied, you typed them in. Lori's like, woo! I bet. Go ahead and throw your question into the comments, and I'm just going to pick the first one that shows up for me, and then we'll get going, right? We'll get going. I'm going to go ahead and take my watch off. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. And we're going to fly into this. It's going to be fun. We're going to enjoy ourselves today because I said so. So, Sandrine, that was the first question I saw, was feeling a bit down today. I'm sorry to hear that, sweet soul. So whatever messages from my ancestors' guides that you have for me. Let's hop in. Because, Sandrine, you usually, your team likes to play, I would say, like, what's the word? What's the totally masculine-derived term? Don't type it because it's rude. For blocking someone. Sometimes y'all, your spirit team blocks me. But it's fine. I'm sure they'll be all right with this. So let's dig in. And surprisingly enough, Sandrine, you're the only person that I've had that experience with where it's just like, nope, teacher standing at the door, you will not pass. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Oh, she went ahead and typed it. You're so rude, Sandrine. But yes, that's exactly the term. All right, my dear sweet pea. So what messages for Sandrine that can lighten her mood? This week, Sandrine, the first feeling I'm getting for you is that there's something in this day, there's something in this week, and it's just this week because normally you're good about it. Somehow you forgot that you're a little bit of a badass. And I think maybe because you're looking at the places where you've not necessarily done as well as you wanted to, or done as well as you thought you should, or done as well as you expected, or someone else's expectations kind of infiltrated there. But you're actually a bit of a badass, and I would love for you to find some way to remember it, even if it's just today, and maybe do a little bit of diving into like maybe your favorite hot mama music. Like anytime that I feel all wonkadoo, oh my God, I love putting on Beyonce's Bow Down. Like the video of that is just like, oh, it gets me a crown. It gets me a crown. Rihanna's another one, like Fresh Off the Runway. For me, music is it, is how you get me. And something about that sexy, empowered, take no prisoners, feminine, like feminine power just does it for me. So what is it that does it for you? What is it that kind of just gets you, you know, you know, the funny thing else that showed up for me was spending some time by yourself, doing something for yourself. Hey, it might help. It might help. It usually makes me feel better. Oh my goodness, let's see what helps, Miss. Your team wants to oh, they just feel playful. I'm wondering how you can create some play for yourself, because the feeling I got for a moment there was like a bunch of little kids kind of playing Ring Around the Rosies with you. And it was just funny and light and kind of like I saw the whole "we all fall down" portion. It was like, oh, you guys are playing. I love it. So maybe another thing that you can do for yourself, because you do have choice here. You do have a choice here: stay in the rut, or to kind of climb yourself out and do something that feels good, that feels easy and fun and funny and lighthearted. Maybe even get a little movement in. But like, if you play, if you color, and not just like, you know, paint beautiful masterpiece kind of things, but like get finger painting and smear and get out of yourself and into something. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I don't see your commenting in there just as of yet, but I hope that makes sense, Sweet Pea. Oh my goodness. See, even Laura was like, get you moving or excited. Yep. Get you moving or excited. The other cards that showed up for you, actually, I have the Seven of Pentacles for you. I also have the Hermit that hopped out when we were first talking, and then the Three of Cups. So for me, that Three of Cups is a little bit that we're talking about trying to figure out some way to cultivate happy for yourself, cultivate some like positive experiences, even if it's just in a moment in your house by yourself, headphones on, dancing like no one's watching, just to kind of move the energy that's going on around you. Hermit for me, but you're perpetually self-reflective. So this to me is like your natural inclination. And then this thing regarding your patience. So I'm thinking like, what's going on with them expectations, darling? You said something about a bathroom? Oh, she's crying right now, and I don't even know why. It's so emotional. So if I'm quiet today, it's because of that. I will try those things. Understood. There is nothing wrong. Everybody, I want you to understand this. There is nothing wrong with the way you are feeling right now. Nothing wrong with it. Do not judge it. Just accept it as this is the reality in which you are right now. Now you get to decide, do I want to stay here? Does it feel good? You know, hey, I'm all for like just spending the day on the bed. I'm going to be in my tears. I'm going to eat my ice cream. I'm going to feel like a fat ass. I'm going to enjoy being miserable today. Just today. I'm all for that if it's necessary. But if you don't like the way it feels, you have tools that are available to you to climb out of that, to massage your way through it, to kind of clear the way. You said that you're redoing your bathroom. So I'm wondering if maybe doing smaller projects for that might help you not feel so overwhelmed by the process. But also your feelings or your emotions, they're completely natural, even if you're in this moment. Honey, don't judge yourself harshly for it. Just acknowledge it and understand it will pass. It always does. It always does. That's the great thing about emotions, is that they come and they go. They do. They do. And do something to like throw some music in the air, change the environment, change the energetic environment around you. And you might see that you may not turn into mental patient on a mountaintop kind of happy, but you might at least go from teary to like meh. You know, when you're all teary, meh is better. So try there. Ooh. You got 2 free food orders from Uber. So that's cool. I dig that, honey. I would order your favorite food and just have it like, have a picnic in the middle of your living room, just you yourself and a sexy eye candy kind of movie. Do something nice. I hope that's useful. I hope that's useful in some way, shape, or form, Sweet Pea. But yeah, oh, okay, you guys. So if you have a question, please feel free to go ahead and throw it into the comments. And here in just a second, we're gonna pull another. We're gonna pull another. Free food is always good, Lori. Free food is always good. Oh, you're very welcome, sweetheart. Mwah. Hugs and love. Always, always, always. Always hugs and love. I saw this one first. Okay. And I want to burn through as many questions as we can. So definitely copy because we're going to be pasting until we're blue in the face or smoked in the face. I don't know which yet. So good evening. Hello, Miss Heather. I would like to ask my guides, ancestors, angels want me to know about my upcoming legal case. Please. I'm so anxiety ridden. Thank you kindly. Okay, so when it comes to legal, without knowing the ins and outs of it, I'm going to stay kind of high level and vague because it's like for me to really give you some benefit, we kind of have to dig in. We kind of have to dig in. I feel like for me personally, I like to understand the circumstances of your case, what started it, what's going on around it, where you're at now, what's possible to come up. I like knowing those things so that I can converse about it from like an educated point of view instead of just the feeling is, especially when we're anxiety ridden. But I'm not going to leave you hanging because I'm your spiritual bestie and we're friends. Hello, hello. And we're still going to come up with something. So let's dig in. What is appropriate? What is appropriate for us to know right now? What is appropriate for me to share? What is appropriate for me to share? The first feeling that I got was that this was something that was necessary. Like, and then again, I don't know the details, so I don't know which part, like the lawsuit or the legal case or the activities surrounding it that led up to this case. There's something about this reviewing of this is necessary. So it kind of had that feeling this needed to happen. I know you have an outcome that you're attached to, and that's kind of the hard part is like, is it going to happen? What's going to happen? Is it going to be in my favor? Is it not my favor? Is it somebody else? You know, that whole cycle thing. Let's see what else is appropriate to share. So the wisdom that I'm getting is not even so much an answer, but managing your anxiety, because we cannot control what is not even in the pipeline yet to manipulate or to attract or what have you. Because when it comes to these kind of things, there's lots of cogs. There's lots of moving parts. And so it's really, really hard moment to moment to make a prediction per se, which often is what people want to know. That's going to go the way I wanted, the way that I expected, and show out in the best possible outcome. That's not always the case. And that's kind of the hardship. So let's figure out how we can manage your anxiety while you're in it. How can we manage your anxiety? There's this term let go and let God showed up twice for me when thinking about this with you. So my first inclination is, again, kind of backing out of areas where you literally have no control. There is no point in worrying about things that you have zero control over. Somebody just told me recently that anxiety is like a prayer of worry for things that have not happened yet. So it's like, are we praying for the things that we don't want? Like, let's not worry about it. Does that make sense? Oh my goodness. So there we go. Oh, you appreciate anything, no matter how general. Sweet. Let's see. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that you've been wrongly accused. But it seems like these kind of things, they need to be looked at. They need to be understood. So I feel like I know this is unfair, right? Because at least from your perspective, this feels exceptionally unfair. And I'm sorry that it's kind of that wrongly accused situation. And of course, I want the best possible outcome because I'm on your side, okay? But, on the flip side, though, the legal system is hopefully looking for the mid-ground. What is actually true is what we hope, right? Which is what we heart. Oh my goodness, do we have a bomb? Do we have a bomb? Maybe not. Hold on. I thought I saw one. Oh my gosh. Okay, anywho. If it, oh, Sandrine. maybe. Okay, let's see what else is in there. So we do have a bomb, Laurie. Here it is. So we do have a bomb. Oh my goodness, I will answer that personal question here in just a moment. So Ms. Laurie, if you can block that. Sandrine, I might make you a moderator so that you can do that too. So that you can block and kick people out with me. Sweet. Oh, I love these bombs. They actually make me happy. So it's like you might as well have been sending me showers of love because of these bombs are so amazing. Sweet Lori thinks she's got it. I love it, Sweet Pea. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so how can we manage your anxiety? Sorry, I just chilled. And I love that feeling for a second, just even for myself, but also for you, because I feel like I want to like just provide you or share with you affirmations for just that chill level, because what is true will show up, what you can prove will show up, what will be understood will show up. It will happen exactly the way it's supposed to happen. So what are the words that we need here? I'm going to take a second because this feels good. This feels good. Let's see. What kind of prayer does she need? A little affirmation. The words, what will true will rise, and so will I. Like that just like showed up twice. So I want to write that down. What is true will rise, and so will I. Gotcha. Now, I say that and I give that understanding that judgment and perspective on truth is relative, right? But we're looking for clarity. And so when you're thinking about that tiny little prayer, aim for clarity, okay? And just understand it is what it is. You're going to do exactly what is necessary. You're going to do exactly as told. You're going to do exactly what is necessary. And if you have nothing to hide, then there'll be nothing to worry about, right? Right. So let's just leave it at that. What is true will rise, and so will I. Sounds good? She says she loves it. Sweet. So good. Would you say you feel like you're going to be good? It's just that uncertainty. Understood completely. Because that uncertainty will drive you batshit. So if you can do anything to control it, even with that little mantra in the back of your mind, just keep it. Just keep it to yourself. Keep singing it over and over in your head. Make a song out of it. Make an art. Whatever you need to do. Manage your anxiety. That's the only thing you can control is your reactions that you're having to the events. Okay? Does that make sense? I think that makes sense for you, Sweet Pea. But thank you so much for your question. And because we had a bomb, I have to answer a personal truth or dare question. So I'm going to spam. I'm going to scan. I'm going to scan. Oh my gosh. Okay. What's the craziest thing you've done in front of a mirror? Oh God. It's the crazy. um, Hold on. I don't know how how far am I willing to go with this. What's the craziest thing I've done in front of the mirror? What's one I'm willing to share? Craziest thing I've done in front of the mirror. Okay, so I don't know about y'all, but I'm a brown lady, right? For some reason in the South, there's the expectation that if you are a brown lady, that you're with an ass, no less, okay? That you somehow instinctively already know how to twerk. Like it's just part of the DNA. I know biochemically it's in my DNA. Dude, I'm half Nigerian. It's in there. However, for whatever reasons, I never learned that skill. Never learned that skill. So I remember being older, not even young one, you know, when you're limber. I remember being older and trying to figure out how can I figure this out? How can I get this rhythm going? You know, because I didn't want to be left behind, literally. So I feel like the craziest thing that I can reasonably share is my adventure in trying to not hurt myself and hurt myself in trying to get the rhythm in twerking. And it just, you know, I know my lane. I know my lane. So I hope you don't mind that slightly embarrassing moment from me. And if we have another spammer, you'll get another question. You'll get another question. So I'm going to get teary because this is making me laugh. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. So we're going to, yes, Left Behind, Lori. All right. So if you have a question, please feel free to go ahead and throw it into the comments. If I start running my mascara, y'all are going to make me go waterproof. This is too much. Oh my goodness. Okay. Faith. Here we go. I love this. I love this. Love this. Faith Advance. Did I do the right thing by attempting to fix things between my mother-in-law? Can I trust her? Let's see. Let's see. Did I do the right thing by attempting to fix things between my mother-in-law? The first impressions that I'm getting, honey, is that this is going to be a long process. So definitely not expecting it to be healed, solved, fixed by just the one action. The other component to that is also watch the behavior over time. So can you trust her? I mean, trust is like a muscle that needs to be flexed, right? So you have to give a little to be able to get that trust to be shown back to you. What I would suggest is take what is her face value, because that is what she is presenting, that is what she is saying, that is what is on the surface, and then hold her accountable to that. Don't try to make assumptions. Don't try to read between her lines. Don't try to understand anything that she is not outwardly saying directly, because if she's not outwardly saying it directly, we need to encourage her to say it outward directly, kind of thing. So the point is, can you trust her? You're going to have to give a little to get a little, essentially. And that's going to develop over time, but also it may not. You may just get that much, and that's just where it is right now. That's just where it is. But trying to fix things with your mother-in-law, I feel like, is always beneficial, because it helps you feel like energetically the bigger person. And I feel like that's going to be useful for you. It's going to help you feel better, which is honestly the only thing you can control, right? Does that make sense? Oh, you gave me some info. So neat. What is this? So she's been very shady before and even attempted to take my child. Ooh, honey, don't make me flip her off like in advance. I'm pregnant, and I told her that I'm pregnant, and I told her, and she got real quiet. And now I'm afraid that she's going to attempt to take this one too. Question. And maybe this, maybe it's not necessarily something that you want to answer directly, like live here. And if you do, please feel free. Try momentarily to see why she feels the need to possess your children. Like, what's that about? Because there might be some getting on the same page. There might just be some understanding that needs to happen. There might be, oh, I see our bombs. Yay. Lori, go ahead and take care of that. I'll get another question prep for us. But I come from a philosophy that people do what they feel like is in their best interest, either side. So for you to not feel like she's necessarily this manipulative little bitch that's just trying to steal your kids. Why? Because it makes your life miserable, and she loves to see you fail, kind of thing. There's some people like that in the world, but not very many, like, in all reality. So what is it that she's trying to solve? What is it that she's trying to do? What is it that she feels like she's trying to rescue, per se? And then maybe figure out where that can be massaged. And of course, that is always something that we can dig into deeper if we need to. I have no problems in deep diving into that kind of situation. But when it comes to moms and children's, both sides of you guys, there's a reason that she feels triggered and pulled. Maybe she's not understanding. Maybe she doesn't get something. Maybe she's making assumptions. Maybe there is some miscommunications or some clarities. And I know that's the high level in overview, and you are in the situation. So you're very on your side at the moment. So totally understood. But I guarantee you there's something that she feels is warranted. And so what is that? That's the question mark. Because if you put herself in her shoes and had her lived experience, would you be the same way too? Maybe. Just thought. Just a thought. Oh, hold on. She accused my home. To what benefit? In those kind of situations, it almost doesn't matter like what the words are. They're trying to have an effect. To what benefit? And to, like, is she wanting to, like, why? There's a reason to the crazy. Not trying to make sense of the crazy, try to rationalize the crazy will make you nuts. But what's the reason for the crazy? I bet you anything you and I could like explore that and kind of understand devil's advocate, maybe read on what's going on her side and see what's going on there. Because if she's willing to say that there's something else going on, there's something else going on. But anyway, families are interesting. Their families are really, really interesting, and we will say the darndest things to say the least. That makes sense. So I guess to answer your high-level question overview or high-level question, was it in your best interest or did you do the right thing? I think for the life of your connection with your husband, that yes, that is useful. Can you trust her? I feel like it's a separate question, and I feel like that much. And you're just going to have to do a little bit at a time. Just take it at face value. So long as you can confirm and show that you are a healthy, stable environment for your child to be in, then no one's just going to say, oh, that kid doesn't belong there. It belongs over here now. Like it's not going to happen. So if you need to familiarize yourself a little bit with your local, not ASPCA, oh my God, CPS, there he goes, and their laws and their rules regarding children and placement and things like that, just to make yourself feel better. Hey, maybe get familiar, get real versed in what an actual legal responsibility and all that stuff is. So does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Then she's like, exactly. Understood completely. So a moment ago we had a bomb, so I have to go pull a question. 250 truth or dare questions. So let's see. Oh my goodness, those are boring. It's like, what are you most jealous of? I'm like, Did you know, sweet souls, that jealousy is often the fear of loss, and not so much like jealousy on its own. Jealousy on its own usually is like the fear of losing something that it's attached to. Just thought I'd throw that out. Here's another question. How many selfies do you take in a day? Almost none. Like it really makes social media marketing a pain in my ass because I take almost no pictures. And that's why I tend to reuse the same face photos like 900 times, is because I almost never take a selfie. Meatloaf says, here's a good one. Meatloaf says he'd do anything for love, but he won't do that. So what is your that? So hold on. I love that song. If you don't know who Meatloaf is, look that up. What is that? Anything for love, but I won't do that. Ooh, but I won't do. Let me think about it, because it's like, what would I not do for my wife? What would I not do for her? I'm literally trying to go there. I'm like, no, we're gonna explore this for a second. I wanted these to be quick for you guys. Hold on. Because it's like, we always talk about like haphazardly, like, oh, would you kill somebody for me? It's like, honey, I already did. No, I'm playing. But I always say, like, I'm the friend that I would like, all right, well, let's go find a shovel. Let's go bury the body. What would she not do? You know what I won't do? I will not participate in self-harm. And not for myself, but for the person. So if for some reason, like, I had a friend who was, oh God, trying to give an example. I'm not going to participate in self-harm. I think that would be my red line. Like if they were doing something to hurt themselves, either physically or emotionally, I won't participate in that if it's like hurt. Because again, we're not that people. So it's not even something I have to worry about, but it's just like, what would I not do? I don't care how much I love the person. I would not help them hurt themselves. I think that's my line. Does that make sense? Oh my gosh, did we get another bomb? We did. Okay, I'll be fast. I promise I'll make this go longer so we can actually get some more reads in. So, dear sweet Lori, please take care of them, my dear. Another question is, are you ticklish? Extremely. So that's not quite personal. Am I superstitious? If so, Which one? Nah, that's not good enough. What's one movie you're embarrassed to admit you enjoy? I got this. Okay. One of them is The Wedding Planner. I fell in love with Jennifer Lopez's makeup in that film. So that's one that I usually just won't watch in public. Oh, I love Cinderella, but I'm not embarrassed about that one because Disney is cool, you know. What is another one I'm embarrassed to say I enjoy? Howard the Duck. Do you remember that from back in the day? Heck yeah. Uh, what's another movie that would probably be slightly embarrassing? Oh my gosh. I'm that person that really likes theatrics. I love a good theater movie. So for me, it would be like, I'm not embarrassed about it though. I don't like B movies. So it'd be like, I would love watching Shawshank Redemption and The Green Mile. Gosh, I would then watch Transformer, all of them, and then all of the Lord of the Rings, every one of the Harry Potters. Like that's what I would be watching, and then I would flip and go into like a prison movie of some sort or a mafia movie. Oh my goodness, those would be another ones too. Um, but yeah, I think those. Oh yeah, rom-coms. I'm a little embarrassed about. So my best friend's wedding is another one that I'd be a little embarrassed to talk about. So we said The Wedding Planner, my best friend's wedding. There might be a theme here. Best friend's wedding. What's the other one? Almost had it. Almost had it. Oh God. Anywho, it'll show up. It'll come up or it won't. Oh, Ever After. That's another one that I'm like I won't watch it for my wife. So yeah, there might be a little like little girl romantic in here somewhere. I'm just saying. Just saying. I hope that's useful. Oh, Sandrine's talking to me about Jennifer Lopez. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You too? Me too, Pasha. That's what okay. You know what? That's it. That's the one that I would say I was a little embarrassed to talk about that I bootlegged Glitter when it came out after 9/11, and I had to listen to it first because my first copy was just the audio because I was that bad on LimeWire. Remember those days? Um, I just had to listen to the audio, and then of course I got the full movie, and then it was super pixelated, couldn't quite see it, so it took a while before I could actually see it. And then I downloaded the soundtrack, and then I memorized the soundtrack. And then there's another embarrassing thing that I've done in front of the mirror, which is rehearse or sing or perform that entire soundtrack in front of the mirror, all 1 hour and some change of it by myself in my bedroom with I don't know if it was no, I actually had a real mic. I had a real mic. It wasn't plugged into anything, but I was in full concert, y'all. I was in full concert. I was that person. I was that person. Oh my goodness. So you guys are throwing in your questions. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's see. I want to make sure I touch base on everybody's. So let's see. Let's see. Pamela, am I walking in my true spiritual calling and gifts? You know the funny question part of that question, my dear sweet Pamela Sauce, is that I feel like you are the best what person to say that or to understand that. Because in all reality, the way it's always been shared with me is that if anything you do feels good, then it's a yes. If it feels bad or you don't like it, then it's a no. So if it feels good or if it feels bad, that's your best barometer for you're walking in the direction of things that serve you and things that feel good for you and things that are in your best interest that that are wonderful. Often though, we have societal language that says stuff about like things can't happen unless you work hard, and only hard work gets the stuff that you have to suffer before you can have the joy. And I'm all about the like, honey, that joy brings more joy though. So I mean, that's my lived experience, is that joy brings more joy. So are you walking in your I feel like I need to take a step back and be like, duh. Not even to be rude about it. So this is not about being rude, but this is more of you you trusting yourself, you stepping into your own shoulders, you stepping into your own empowered and believe that you can make the best decisions for yourself, that you do not need somebody like me to necessarily tell you if you are, because you can feel within yourself in advance if you are. Like if you sit here thinking about it, what do you feel like? Do you feel like I can make a few adjustments so that it feels a little bit better? Then do that. Or if you feel like, nope, I'm exactly where I need to be, at least right now, this is exactly where I need to be, and go. Because in all reality, you don't want, hypothetically, every meal you've ever eaten right now, right? So you don't necessarily want every spiritual calling and gift to show up right now. Your brain will explode. So allow the journey, allow the time, allow the sorting, allow the contrast, because it gives you information. It allows you to choose. It helps you experience life in its fullness and awesomeness and all that good stuff. So, honey, I'm going to put that back to you and look at how it feels. Are you walking in your true spiritual calling and gifts? If you feel like you are, honey, then you're all in. If you feel like you need a tweak, then tweak it. If you feel like you're not, you're not. Okay? Does that make sense? I hope that does. Where's she at? Oh, you just gave me a comment. Hold on, let me scroll down. You know what it's like. I'll do a reading and we'll be so nervous, and at the end they're so happy. So where is the overthinking coming from? You have been trained. You have been trained not to trust yourself, because you were probably also raised around people who didn't trust themselves. Innately, we're not taught to believe ourselves. We're taught to believe others. Religion does that. School does that. Businesses do that. We are told, oh, one of the life missions that I wish I could do is give you back to yourself. And by that, I mean, I wish you could, if I could do anything for you, it would be right now for you to leave here trusting everything that you felt, because everything that you're feeling is true. Everything that you are thinking comes from a valid point of view. Everything that your body is experiencing, everything your body is telling you is true. So when you're hungry, go eat. If you're hungry for a thing, go eat the thing. If you need to pee, please go pee. Don't stick to a schedule just because somebody says you should, or somebody says you shouldn't eat after 7. What time zone? And do they know your life? They don't. You are the closest person to you. Your soul, your inner being, your connection to source is the only thing that you should be listening to. Honey, I'm going to make you put this down. Don't even listen to me. No, listen to my encouragement is what I'm referring. Listen to yourself. Listen to yourself. You can trust yourself. Often, trust is one of those things that you have to practice. And I found for me, it was really easy to give myself a chair or a stool. And I remember telling myself, when I'm sitting in this stool, I will trust anything that shows up here metaphysically. I will trust any experience that I have. I will trust that my tingles mean something and are valid and real, and I didn't make that shit up. And the practice of trusting myself helped me understand where else I can trust myself. So it's just a thought. So I hope that makes sense, Sweet Pea. I hope that makes sense. Perfect. I'm glad to hear it. All right, sweet souls. Let's see. Let's keep reading. I owe you some extra time because we've been having so many wonderful bombs. Those are some fun bombs. Totally let me know. What did you think of these added questions? When we get the spammer, we get a bomb, and then we get like a personal question. What do you think about that? Hi, Tammy. What's your thoughts? Do you mind? Do you enjoy? Is it funny? Is it as silly as I think it is? Let's see. All right, Cecilia, you have the opportunity to celebrate a birthday party in Mexico, but you're hesitant because of the anxiety and panic attacks. Should you go? Should you go? Should you go? The funny thing, hun, I feel like it's not necessarily a should, because it's a choice. So what you should do is what you feel like you should do. That's the only thing you should do. So think of it more like, all right, so do I want to go? Yes or no? Okay, yes, I want to go. Okay, perfect, awesome, I want to go. How do I manage my anxiety so that the trip can go better? What do I need so that I can feel better on this journey? What do I need? What support can I do, or what things can I do so that this journey is more relaxing and engaging and useful and beneficial? Then do those things. If you're like, do I want to go? no, because I really don't want to get out of my comfort zone. I really don't want to leave anywhere. I don't want to do the whole work that goes with traveling. All right, then just be okay with no. And then usually there's that whole like, oh, but then I'm going to let people down. For me, no is not, it does not need to be justified. I don't want to. I don't, it's not in the game plans. It's not um, something I'm okay with doing right now. Love you. I'm going to send a gift, kind of thing. Oh, I hope you enjoy it. Be happy for them, but you can say no. No is a complete sentence. I've said that before. Does that make sense? I hope. Cecilia, let me see if there's anything else in there, hun, for you. What's in her best interest? So to me, it feels like circling back, and what's in your best interest is to follow how you actually feel, like honoring how you actually feel. If you want to go because you want to go, then figure out ways to make that happen. If you don't want to go, but you're saying you want to go because you don't want to hurt somebody's feelings, that's not a good enough reason. And then you need to trust yourself, because you'll be in a shit ton of resentment the whole time and accidentally might find a reason not to go. So it's like, why not just go ahead and double down on the fact that you don't want to go to begin with and be okay with that? Does that make sense? She's very, okay, there you go. You're very 50-50 on going. Understood. If it's not like, I want to go, I can't wait to go, I'm excited to go, then I'm not going. I'm not going. And that's just me. And I understand though, people want you there. They extend the invitation. Sometimes they spend money on you possibly being there, but I don't feel like that's an obligation. It does not mean you owe them anything. So, but that's just an Abby. That's just an Abby. If you totally need to talk about it more, darling, you know where to find me. You know where to find me. All right, sweet souls, go ahead and throw in your questions. I want to make sure that I keep answering your good stuff for you. Let's see. If I speak to my mom about helping with my tuition, will she do it? Okay. So it's an if-then kind of question. So speaking hypothetically, will she do it? Will she do it? This feels a little bit more complicated than just asking mom to help with your tuition. I'm getting info, so give me a second. What was that? Okay, so a bit of the stuff that I'm getting, first of all, being that if at all possible, let mom be last resource, last resource. And primarily because it's like, you don't really want to incorporate too many unnecessary financial ties, because that shit gets really complicated if for some reason something happens, somebody doesn't make a payment, somebody doesn't fulfill their end of the obligation of their agreement or what have you. You really don't want to attach more strings to you than maybe you already have innately. So instead, maybe see what other options you can explore besides mom. What else could you do? I'm not a fan of student loans, so I really hope you don't go that route. But I would still do student loans before mom, like, kind of thing. What else could you do? Dude, I would straight up get into reselling. Earn a second income by reselling something that's small and easy to acquire. I saw somebody who made a lot of money actually reselling the keys off of Mac keyboards, like the springs and the key heads. So you can resell anything. You could sell that on Poshmark, eBay, whatever's, but it gives you the opportunity to control the side income and throttle it or turn it down depending on your needs and what you're able to do. What else? Explore other options before asking mom. Explore other options before asking mom. Even like explore stuff like maybe doing less classes or work study or another arrangement where it's very cut and dry, like this money for this money or this service for that money or something. Just don't accidentally get yourself tangled up. Does that make sense? Oh, Pasha, you said that she's controlling and you're maxed. I'm assuming student loan wise, you're maxed out. Understood. So I'm wondering if you were like either had a super expensive school or maybe like a couple goes. Understood. In that kind of situation, hun, is just find every other means possible. if it's a second job, if it's less credits, if it's another school, figure it out. What is important to you? Is it the degree? Is it when you get creative, when you brainstorm your other possibilities, the natural next best solution will show up. Also, reach out to your school's financial department. Maybe they have scholarships, resources, companies, businesses, scholarships. Did I say scholarships? They might be able to find you something or help you find a direction to look into. Maybe they can find you an internship that pays directly to the school. Maybe you can make an arrangement with the person behind the desk and they know a guy that knows a guy, you know? So it's stuff that can happen. There's a private nursing college. Or you might see, the funny thing was, I was just thinking about my old school, which is College of St. Mary in Omaha, Nebraska. I used to do pre-med there, and there was a big nursing school on the campus as well, and that was the same kind of feel that I was getting for you. And I remember one day my ex's sister came to me saying kind of the same thing. I need to like find money for school, or I'm not gonna be able to go. And so I marched her up and down the financial aid office, the people I did my work study with. I marched her into one of the scholarship locations. I marched her to the head of her nursing department to see what they understood. I went everywhere I could to kind of like, hey, I have a gap. We need to find the gap. Also, explore other schools. That's always an option available to you, especially if they transfer. I don't know if they do, but just see if it's possible. See if it's possible. Let's see. Ooh, Pasha's letting me know that she's got a bomb. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen it yet. It might come in. It might come in. It comes in. If I see it, then I get to pull the question. If I pull it, oops, there we go. Ooh. I didn't mean to pull that question, but I'm like, while we're here, I'm wondering if the man that left his house and property to me is okay with the changes we're making to it. Sorry, I'm scanning. Like, what's the first feel? I got meh and ambivalence. So I'm inclined to kind of go like, yeah, what else? Like, no worries, meh, so good. Let's see what shows up in addition. Even Deborah has a bomb. Oh my gosh, I don't see it. So somebody got it before I did. That's awesome. Oh, not sure that's a bomb. Got you. Okay. No worries. No worries. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Ma'am, man. So again, it shows up kind of like not really worried about it per se, but also along the lines of if you need approval, then they approve. But you don't need approval because there's nothing to approve. It just feels like, why are you worried about it? Does that make sense? No, I mean, it feels fine. It feels fine. Like, if whatever the worry is, it's like, don't worry about it. It's fine. So yeah, that's one of the situations where I would totally need to know more information to see what the game plan is. But I'm sure it's fine. It feels fine. I'm sure it's fine. I'm not worried about it at all. All right, you guys, so it's 3. Let's keep going for a little while longer. If you have a question, please feel free to go ahead and throw it into the comments. And Lori is over there with superhero music, taking care of spammers for us. Tell you what, while we are getting those next questions in, if you have somebody in mind that you think would benefit from this session or knowing about my work, meaningfully share that with somebody, because I think that could be some of benefit instead of just, mindlessly dumping this, live stream in some group. Like, meaningfully either tag a friend or do the share button, meaningfully share that with somebody, because I feel like that can always be a tiny bit of a lifeline or a tiny bit of encouragement, or, that situation that you have, they have too, and so they got a little bit out of it. I think that could always be really, really useful for us. Regina, share with us more about what's confusing, and then we can clear into that a little bit more. And Deborah was like, that makes sense. He probably doesn't mind. So it didn't seem like it was anything to spend worry energy on. So no worries there. All right, my dears. Come on. We got your question. Sweet. I got it. Okay. Miss Laura, darling. Hope you're doing well. I am. one of your best, I lost one of my best friends recently. Oh, I missed out on seeing her before she died. Is it possible for you to channel her to see if she had any last messages for me? Her name was Robin. Robin. Oh, I want to, but I was actually trying not to do mediumship today, just because it's like it takes over the rest of the session. Oh, Laura. Okay, so Laura, I'm not avoiding you, hun. I want to do that work for you. I'm not going to do it today. Does that make sense? Can I like pseudo promise that we'll do it next session? Because I don't want to lose the rest of the session by spending the 30, 10, 15, whatever it's going to be, and then missing out on the questions. So, but I got you. I got you. Thank you, Sandrine. Let's see. Let's give Laura some hearts and hugs because she's super sweet. You're super sweet. Hold on. Can I give you a heart and a hug? Can I do that? I don't even know if I can. Give her hearts and hugs. Like I've gotta figure out if I can. I think I can do that on Facebook. I'm not on the Facebook platform at the second, so I can't heart you. But I'm sending Laura hearts and hugs, and I'm sorry to hear about the passing of your friend, and I definitely want to dig into that for you. Definitely want to do. All right, sweet peas, let's keep going. So, where is your career headed? Where is your career headed? Where is your career? Oh, you're sweet, Laura. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Michelle, where's your career headed? You know, the first thing that showed up for me when I'm sitting, just even answering the in that question is about choice and deciding what you want out of your career. Do you know what you want out of your career? You're in education. Where is it headed? So and the funny thing is, every time I'm even saying the words, like, where is it headed? The side question that shows up is, where do you want it to go? And so I'm wondering if maybe spending some time exploring your actual goals for yourself, because let's not assume that the trajectory of your career is preordained or predestined or pre-thought out. Oh, you even said that you don't know. Understood completely. And it's okay not to know. No one's judging you for not knowing, except you. You're probably judging yourself for not knowing, but I'm going to ask you not to. Please don't judge yourself for not knowing, because it's totally understandable. Especially when we live in such a option-heavy world, right? We have all the options, we have all the ways, we have all the things that we can do. So instead, maybe choose the direction that you want your career to go. What have you always wanted to do? What are you interested in exploring? What are you interested in trying out? The next thing that you try out doesn't have to be the one thing that you do for the rest of your life. And maybe expecting that it is an unrealistic expectation and a really heavy pressure to put on yourself. So if you have something that you're wanting to try, maybe look into it. Oh, you have a small business that you want to do. Cool. Well, what is stopping you from trying? Because even if you fail, at least you tried. And then you didn't necessarily give up. You just found another way not to do it. And that's cool. Get up and do it again. Do it again. Rinse and repeat until you get to where you feel like you want to go. Because every time you try something, you're learning more about what you want and what you don't want. And it gives you the opportunity to lean further into what you do want. So if in that business or in that thing that you're trying, you realize, you know what? I don't like doing pop-ups. I don't dig this, but I really like this. Then lean into that a little bit more. When that splits off and you have options here, you love this but hate this, then lean into what you do like a little bit more so that you can plot the direction your life is actually going to go into. Does that make sense? Money is tight. You can start a business on zero income. Now, a lot of people will say up first that it takes money to make money, and I thoroughly believe that, and I have experiences to say that. However, I have examples personally of starting businesses for free. Zero upfront costs. So it just depends on where you're at and what you're doing. You can start small, like Lori just threw in there. You can start on $100. What do you have? Because those restrictions force you to get real creative. And the more creative you are, oh God, need is the mother of invention. When you need to do something on a tight budget, you're going to get real efficient. You're going to get real tight, and you're going to get real deliberate. Excuse me. But yes, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely start small. It is super, super, super possible. but you have to decide, and that's the whole thing. If you don't have it, if you haven't made a decision, it's like paddling in a river nowhere or paddling in an ocean to nowhere. If you make a choice and know that you're trying to go at least in that general vicinity, then just aim there until you know more. Until you know more. Ooh, Lori's even saying she loves being her own boss. I absolutely adore, because I can guarantee you right now, I'm living the life that I've always wanted for myself, which is a life on my own terms. And I lean into my own terms all the time. So whatever it is that I'm doing, or options, or projects or goals that show up, does it help me live a life that's on my own terms, or does this put me in somebody else's hands? If it puts me in somebody else's hands and control, I'm out of it. I don't want to be a part of it. But if I'm living a life that's on my own terms and this lines with it, I'm all in. Excuse me, I'm all in. But it helps. Oh, good. I'm glad to hear it, sweet souls. Sweet. All right, let's keep going. I want to make sure that you got, your questions answered. Because we had some bonds, we had some fun, we answered some super personal questions and had some fun. So please feel free to go ahead and throw in your question. And I'm going to pull the next one that shows up for us, because I know. Thank you so much for all the hearts. That's sweet. Aw. See, Rochelle, even Lori's like, good luck, hon. Definitely. Definitely, definitely. Oh my goodness. Are you guys done with your questions? Does that ever happen? All right. If I don't get one, we'll do a quick community read and then we'll end it on a high note. There you go. Ah, there it is. All right, sweet souls. You're very welcome, Rochelle. You need a reading, any guidance on, this new proposal. Will this equation bring the kind of life and happiness and fulfillment I desire from the deepest core of my heart? Whoa, how will things turn out in the long run? I also like this other person, dating no one though. Who will bring me desired and lasting fulfillment? Honey, you are giving yourself so much pressure. So much pressure. So guidance is enjoy your time. Enjoy your time. Will this equation, that's a lot of pressure and it feels needless, but okay, so the first bit of energy that I got out of your question was that you have really high expectations for yourself. Awesome. I'm glad that you do. However, sometimes your high expectations are also damaging to your shoulders and damaging to your psyche, because then you have this expectation that you have to meet these goals or your value isn't there. It has to be the best or it's not good enough, or you somehow let somebody down kind of thing. So my thought, hun, is that the only thing that's going to give you the life and the happiness and fulfillment that you desire is you. You're never going to find that out of another person. I want you to write that one down. You will only find your life, your happiness, and your fulfillment from yourself. Because if you look for it in other people, you will be looking forever. You will never find it. Because if you do temporarily find it, it is short-lived and does not last very long, because then they change their mind. Then something happens, the circumstances change. Life evolves like it always does. So if you're looking for something from the deepest core of your heart, then look to yourself. Be that for yourself first and foremost. Don't look for it outside of yourself. How will things turn out in the long run? What is it that you're looking for? And that's something for you to understand personally. What is it that you're looking for? And then does your goals align with what it is that you're looking for? Because if you're looking for a family house, car, home kind of thing, does this situation kind of align with that? If it does, great. If not, great. Do they both align to it? Look at you with all your options. That's kind of cool. Dating no one and no one though, who will bring me desired and long-lasting fulfillment? Again, I'm going to double down on those two. No one outside of you is going to bring you lasting fulfillment. That is something that you have to find internally first and then express outwardly, and give that to your other people. Give that to the relationships and the work and the friends that you have. You give that fulfillment out. You don't go outside yourself to try to drag it in, because it does not exist. Not in that format. I hope that makes sense. And if it doesn't, I will talk about that so we're blue in the face, because it's a philosophy that I believe in. Honeys. Goodness. All right. I think we will do you, Miss Lori. You're gonna be my last one for the evening, darlings. And I know that sometimes y'all like to fall off when I say it's the last one, but that's okay because you guys have been so much fun to hang out with today. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So Lori says that she's changing some things. What am I doing? Oh, with what I am doing, is it helping my leg health? Right. You have the thing with the ulcer. Gotcha. Excuse me, let me cough. Incense. Let's see, Lori. What do you feel around the stuff regarding your leg? What is this about your leg? I'm glad that you're changing some things because it's usually only when we start actually shifting stuff that we find what's possible and how things can improve. But also you learn what aggravates it and makes it better. Dude, okay, so I don't know if this is actually what's going on for you or not, or if it's going to help, but the first thing I keep getting is in relation to salt and sodium. So I'm wondering if there's any relation to that in relation to your leg, or if augmenting that would help, because is it edema? That's an ulcer. I wonder if it's an ulcer related to edema. Well, I don't know your leg health, so I just know that you have this thing going on with it. But to me, it's like coming back to the taste of salt and awareness, food intake. What are you ingesting? Everything that you do will help. Everything that you do will help because you're doing something, you're sorting things, you are trying new things out, you're exploring your options, you're figuring out what works for you and what doesn't. Basically, you're deciding to take the health of yourself and your leg into your own hands instead of just hoping that somebody outside of yourself will be able to do it. So I love that you're doing this work because I feel like it's going to be meaningful for you in other things. However, I think still that there's this emotional component to it as well. And I believe that the healthier you get, the more you'll be able to see these other emotional components that also act like an ulcer for you. So briefly, just throwing something out there, is there anything in your life that you feel like is a little bit of a sore that just is not getting better or doesn't heal or keeps weeping or keeps problematic, like that little annoying fuckery thing, whatever it happens to be, that just keeps getting ignored or covered or bandaged or put away, but not actually healed? Because I'm wondering if you start dealing with those things, if the health of this could actually start to shift at the same time. Oh, you actually helped me out with that. Hold on. Oh, Tammy, thank you. That's very sweet of you. So we were right on the salt as I was staring salt down over here. It makes things swell for you. You're trying to halt the salt. Dude, I want a shirt that says that, halt the salt. Like, and just to make people like get all tongue tied when they read it, like that to me is epic. We need to make you a shirt. Halt the salt. Salt is in everything. So you do often have to get better about cooking from scratch for yourself frequently because there's so much seasoning though. There's so much seasoning that's available on this planet. You can still make some amazing food by not having salt in it, especially if you have a reaction to it. What else is going on in there? I feel like this is the first big ass great step though. Yeah, okay. I do want to make sure that you do what you can to track, log, and monitor days that are good for your leg and days that aren't good for your leg. Diet is a good way of going about it. So tracking what you eat is usually a good first, layer. And then also look into like every other thing that comes in contact with you. And not just the leg, but with you. So either ingesting or emotional or visual, like those are all things that come in contact with you. If you're taking a journal and then using that journal to monitor the symptoms of your leg, you might start to see correlations that you wouldn't see otherwise. You're a tiny bit like Sandrine, where it's like, I can't fix it for you. Because every time I try to get close to it, I keep getting the whole like bounce back. Like, it's not your job, it's not your job, it's not your job. But I want to help. What can I understand then? So the wisdom that just came in is that for me, more of is that I'm helping you, point you in the right direction to things that can help you. And the whole goal here is to help you help yourself. So it's not our job, as much as I'd love to fix it for you. I'd love to make it better tomorrow and for it to finally heal. But it's a mirror of stuff that's going on in your environment, and you're the only person that can make those connections. I can't make those connections for you. You have to experience it, you have to go through it, you have to understand it for yourself, because it's not something that I can just and put it in your head and it's amazing kind of thing. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Trying to think of a sore in your life that might need healing, because it's current and active in your leg. I'm like encouraging you to think of other things like that are current and active in your life that's kind of like, what would you call it, like a splinter that's kind of gotten out of control, or a circumstance. What is your skin like? If we kind of think symbolically, what is your skin? Your skin is the outward representation of your life. Your legs represent mobility and movement. Wonder if, because another thing that showed up was like a ball and chain. Do you have anybody that's kind of being a succubus essentially and kind of like drawing the breath out of you? What else? Oh, I feel like, okay, I'm still getting like not a wall per se, but I feel like I'm being kind of like pulled back from it. I feel like part of your work is to find the correlation, because as you read and study and learn and understand, you'll get ideas. And I feel like the ideas is part of the process that you're here to do. It's like this is part of the work, is figuring this out. And I can't take that from you. I can't take it from you. Oh, I want to like rescue. Dude, I legit do reading with you in mind. I research with you in mind. So trust, I'm right here wanting to like intervene and get it all figured out. But I feel like this is a legit part of the process, the Lori process of figuring out what's going on for you emotionally, either on the surface or literally, or with your diet, whatever it is that's making effect for you. Dude, you still want me to, sorry, I want to read the book by Caroline Myss about like healing yourself and why people can't, or something to that nature. And I wonder if that actually might be a good one for you as well. Totally have to do like a buddy read. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Caroline Myss. Caroline Myss. Because I'm rereading Sacred Contracts. Why people don't heal and how they can. There we go. I'm gonna get that like on Amazon or Audible. I think I might do it on Audible. Do they have it? They have it on Kindle. Dude, you know what? We might have to do buddy reads or like a reading group or something, because there's so many amazing books out here that I would love to participate with you guys with. That'd be fun. There you go. Perfect. See, Susie. Sandrine's like, yes. I don't even know how I do the study group, but I think I want to. Because it'd be so much fun. I love to read. But again, we're busy people. I don't want to take your time away. Maybe Sandrine, you can lead the group. Maybe, yes. Ooh, I feel like I'm coming up with the idea as we speak. Sandrine, you're going to be, hypothetically, we're not like putting this in stone. Maybe we should create a reading group that you lead, you take care of and manage, and I will just be like, yeah, Sandrine's doing the book and shit, and the reading group is this book I'm gonna read on the side, and I'm to filling orders and doing readings and still doing my life, but totally participating when I can. Would totally be fun. See, even Mindy is like, book club would be awesome. Oh my goodness, I feel like that'd be so much fun. That'd be so much fun. Sandrine, I'm thinking you might have to give that some thought. I could totally create a group and just let you be in charge of it. Totally do that. All right, sweet souls, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and bounce because I do have so much listing to do, and I, for some reason, forgot to plug my phone in. There we go. Let's do that so it doesn't leave. And I'm about to drop battery. So there we go. Sandrine, if you legit want to do it, totally reach out and we'll make some arrangement. If you don't, honey, it's fun to chat about. It's fun to kind of like play with. We also probably should just like explore it with the community and just to see if it's worth doing. I just know I don't have the time to lead it. That's the thing. So if you have the time to lead it, I will totally be your cheerleader and help out when I can. Lori, love you too. Thank you so much, you guys, for hanging in there for me. It's been so much fun. You guys are the best. Always the best. Oh, you too, hon. You too. Laura, you have a great rest of your night. And thank you for that really, really, really good question. Remind me and we'll read on it next Friday. Sweet. All right, you guys, take care. Bye.